Cowboys Nation, what's going on? It's Alex back again, and before we jump into this wild update, I gotta stop right here because I know most of you watch my videos every single day but still haven't subscribed, so hit that button right now and turn on the bell so you never miss a single Cowboys update, because trust me, the next few weeks are going to be absolutely insane. Now let's get right into today's story because this one is big. We're talking about linebacker DeMarvion Overshown and his return to the Dallas Cowboys defense, and let me tell you right now, this timeline is something that could change the entire outlook of this team's season. So hey, race the deal. Overshown was one of those players Cowboys fans were really excited about before his injury. He's young, he's fast, he's physical, and he plays with that energy that completely changes the way the defense looks when he's out there. And after going down last year with that torn ACL, a lot of people weren't sure what the future would look like for him. But now we finally have an updated timeline on when he could be back, and when I tell you this matters, I mean it, because this defense is already one of the best in the league, and adding Overshown back into the mix could make it downright scary. Now before I break down the new timeline, let's just rewind a little bit and talk about why Overshown is so important to this team. If you watched him in college at Texas, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's the type of guy who just flies around the field. He can cover tight ends, he can rush the passer, he can drop into coverage, and he has that sideline to sideline speed that you just cannot teach. The Cowboys drafted him because they knew he could be a difference maker, and in those preseason games before his injury, you could already see the flashes. The way he attacked the ball, the way he played with confidence, you could tell this kid was built for the NFL. So when the injury happened, it was a gut punch, not only to him but to the team and the fans, because everyone wanted to see how he was going to develop in Dan Quinn's system. Now fast forward to this season, and we're finally getting good news. The latest reports are saying Overshown's recovery is ahead of schedule, and the Cowboys are now looking at a realistic return timeline that could see him back on the field sooner than expected. And let me tell you, if this actually happens, it's going to be massive. Hey, race, why timing is everything in the NFL. You all know that injuries pile up during the season, defenses get worn down, players start to feel the grind of playing week after week, so getting a fresh young linebacker like Overshown back in the middle of the year could feel like a trade deadline acquisition without the Cowboys even having to make a move. Think about it, it's like adding a new weapon to an already loaded defense, with Micah Parsons causing chaos on the edge, Trevon Diggs locking it down in the secondary, and now possibly Overshown flying around in the middle. This is the type of move that takes the Cowboys defense from great to elite. And hey, Ray, something else to think about, Overshown's style of play actually makes life easier for everyone else on the defense. When you have a linebacker who can cover ground so quickly and take away those short passes, it allows Parsons to focus more on rushing the passer. It allows the safeties to play a little more aggressive, and it makes quarterbacks hesitate because they're not sure if that little dump off is even going to work anymore. His presence alone changes the math for opposing offenses. Now I know what you're probably wondering, Alex, when exactly can we expect him back? And that's the million-dollar question. The Cowboys have been cautious. They don't want to rush him and risk another setback, but the new timeline being talked about points to midseason as the target, and that's honestly perfect because by then the Cowboys will know exactly where they stand in the playoff picture, and having a guy like Overshown return in that window could give them a second-half surge that puts them over the top. But let's not just talk about the X's and O's, let's talk about the emotional impact too, because football isn't just about schemes, it's about energy, and Overshown brings that fire. You can feel it when he plays. The crowd feeds off it, his teammates feed off it, and after missing an entire season, you better believe he's coming back hungry. He's going to want to prove that he belongs, and that hunger can be contagious. It can lift an entire defense, and that's something you can't measure with stats. Now imagine this scenario, it's week 9 or week 10. The Cowboys are in a tough stretch of the schedule. The defense has been playing well, but you can see they need a spark. Suddenly Overshown is cleared to return. He steps onto the field for the first time since his injury, and the stadium erupts. That kind of moment doesn't just inspire fans, it inspires teammates. It reminds the whole team that they've got reinforcements, and it sends a message to the rest of the league that the Cowboys are not slowing down. And you know Jerry Jones is smiling ear to ear thinking about this, because for once he doesn't have to make a big splashy trade to shake things up. He's already got a guy in house who can come in and make a huge difference. And the best part is Overshown doesn't need to do everything, he doesn't have to carry the defense, he just needs to play his role, and when you put him next to veterans who can guide him like Leighton Vander Esch when healthy, or even Damone Clark who's taken big steps, you create a linebacker group that can adapt to anything an offense throws at them. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but let's think about the playoffs, because let's be real, that's where this season is headed. If the Cowboys are going to make a real Super Bowl push, having Overshown back could be the secret weapon teams aren't prepared for. You can scheme all week for Parsons, you can try to avoid Diggs, you can try to run at the defensive tackles, but then suddenly there's Overshown flying in and making plays that you didn't see on tape all year. That's the kind of difference maker he can be, and that's why this new timeline matters so much. Of course, there are always risks, and we have to be real about that too. Returning from an ACL is no joke. Some players come back stronger, some take time to regain their confidence, and some never quite look the same, but everything we've heard so far says Overshown's rehab is going well, his movement looks strong, and the medical staff believes he's on track. So while nothing is guaranteed, the signs are pointing in a really positive direction. And let me just say this too, because I know a lot of Cowboys fans might be holding their breath wondering if he can really handle the physicality of the NFL after the injury, but Overshown has always been a fighter. He's been doubted before, he's had to work for everything he's gotten, and when you combine that with the resources the Cowboys have in terms of training and rehab, you start to feel pretty confident that he's going to make this comeback happen. So hey, race, the bottom line, the Cowboys defense is already nasty, but adding Overshown back into the mix at midseason could be the spark that takes this team to the next level. His speed, his versatility, and his energy are exactly what this defense thrives on, and the new timeline for his return is giving fans something to get really excited about. Now I want to know what you guys think. Do you believe Overshown is going to come back and make an immediate impact? Do you think the Cowboys should ease him in slowly, or just let him loose once he's cleared? Drop your thoughts down below in the comments, because I read every single one and I love hearing what Cowboys Nation thinks. Before I wrap this up, I gotta remind you again, if you've been enjoying these updates and you want to stay locked in on every single thing happening with the Dallas Cowboys, hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel is where you'll always get the news first, and trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. Cowboys Nation, I'll see you in the next one. This is Alex signing off, and let's hope the next time we're talking about DeMarvion Overshown, it's about him making plays back on the field instead of talking about a rehab timeline. Until then, stay tuned and go Cowboys.